Gemini, welcome to Moonbeam's Messages. This is your collective love reading. Now, as this is collective, not everything will resonate, so please only take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If you don't find anything in this for yourself, then please check your other messages where you are likely to find, your other messages. Please check your other placements where you're likely to find a message in there. Let's get into this. Spirit, can we get some cards for Gemini for what is coming up with love? So this could be a past, present, or future situation. A person, I should say. It is simply whatever message Spirit wants to bring out. Interesting. So the overall energy we've got here is a Page of Cups. So there's a lot of flirting going on in this as a relationship. It's very flirty, maybe a bit creative, actually very innocent as well. It could be that somebody doesn't have very mature feelings here, or it could just be that there's a lot of youthful energy here instead. Now, in your card placement, we have the Page of Pentacles. So it's giving me that kind of youthful, innocent energy for yourself here, very much suggesting that this could be something new that you're going into. Earth sign here, Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. It could very well be that you are looking at, how do I put it? Maybe you're meeting them in a course. Maybe you are looking at giving them some sort of gift. I do feel that maybe you are meeting somebody here, or you've already met them maybe through some sort of learning. Maybe a course, an apprenticeship, maybe some on-the-job training, for instance. It could even be that you've met them at work when you started a new job. I do feel like it's something where you're looking at it as being very innocent, very playful, very light-hearted here, not necessarily something where you could see it being a stable long term, but pentacles are a good start to stable. I just feel like it's very much the beginning. So what's this Page of Pentacles, please, Spirit? Interesting. So we have a Seven of Pentacles, a King of Swords, and a Ten of Pentacles. So, you're very much trying to invest into this. It could very well be that you're giving some sort of gift. Maybe you're giving to a particular situation, and you're waiting for some returns here. The Seven of Pentacles is very much a card of waiting for things to improve. So it could just be that it's, like I say, it could just be the very beginning of the relationship. Maybe you've put in some good footings at the start. You're building those foundations, you're waiting for things to develop a little bit here. The King of Swords is very much suggesting that somebody could be a little bit cold, maybe not necessarily expressing their feelings. The King of Swords, obviously, it is your energy. So Gemini, Gemini, Aquarius, and oh my life, what is the other one? I can't even think anymore. It's gone out of my head. So I'm thinking that maybe it's just Gemini or Aquarius. I know the other one's Libra. Uh, so it could be one of the three of yourselves, as say yourselves. It could be any of those energies that this could potentially be. I feel like this is the other person. Maybe they're not really confessing feelings here. Maybe they're just being a little bit, it might feel like they're being cold, a little bit closed off. And that's very much why you're waiting for things to develop, because they're not really going very far, because you don't know how they're feeling. We do have a Ten of Pentacles here, so you are potentially looking at this being a long-term investment, something that you feel is going to be very stable, and you're going to have a lot of commitment here, is what it's feeling like. Now, in your person's energy, they've got the Chariot, so they are feeling successful. They feel like things are very aligned for them. Their heart and their head is aligned, but they're on the move. Now, I don't know if that's on the move for you or on the move elsewhere. So let's get some clarity on this. What's this Chariot, please, Spirit? What's this chariot? So I've got a magician here in the reverse. So they're feeling very self-confident. Sorry, self-conscious here. I've got a Four of Cups. They know exactly what they want. They know what's good for them, and they've got a Wheel of Fortune. They feel that this is divine timing. I've got a feeling that they are on the move towards you. They've been waiting for something to happen, and I feel like it's a lot more to do with their confidence than anything else. They know that this is what they want. They know it's right for them, and they are very much seeing you as being somebody that's very lucky, very much the right thing for them, somebody that is going to bring them good fortune. Now, how are you feeling about this? We've got that Seven of Pentacles again. So you are very much waiting for things to develop, waiting for things to bloom. Now, you might find that why it's not going very far at the moment is purely because of your person's confidence. And it could be that you're just waiting for them to gain some confidence that this is actually going to happen, you know? It could be that they don't know how you're feeling. They may feel that you're not really opening up very much. They may feel like they're not good enough. So I've got a Five of Wands here in the reverse. So there's definitely somebody feels like they might have been in competition with something. They're very much trying to keep away from that competition vibe. Feel like that's your person. Maybe they're lacking confidence because they feel like they might be competing with other people. There's definitely some passion going on here. There's definitely a new start coming in, something that is going to be passionate and very fun. So the Ace of Wands. I do have a Knight of Swords in the reverse. So somebody's going to be coming rushing in eventually. Now, when they do come in, it's going to be a bit of an explosion. So there could be some harsh words being said. And I don't feel it's very much harsh words in a bad way. I feel like they might be standing up for themselves about something. I've got a Queen of Wands in the reverse. Now, I feel like it might be that they're standing up for themselves. I feel like you might be listening to them standing up for themselves. I feel like this Queen of Wands in the reverse, yes, it's somebody that's lacking confidence, but it's somebody that's very vindictive. So I feel like there might be somebody in the background that could be playing, well, playing mind games maybe. Potentially, they're why your person is lacking confidence because this Queen of Wands could very well have worn their confidence down. I've got a moon card here in the reverse, so there's a lot of fear that this isn't going to work. I've got an emperor in the reverse, so there's a lack of control. Again, it could be somebody else that could be jumping in, and I've got a Three of Pentacles. So it feels to me like there's a lot of work that needs to go into this in order for it to be a successful relationship. Now, I feel like it's work between the two of you. Maybe you have been with this person before and you're rekindling things and you're just trying to start it off slow to see where it goes. Maybe there's ex-partners on both sides that could be causing some issues here with this Emperor in reverse and this Queen of Wands in the reverse. The Emperor in reverse is not a nice person either. Now, it could very well be that your person is lacking confidence in this as a relationship, purely because they might not feel like they've got confidence because somebody that was vindictive in the past, maybe a past relationship they've gone through, that could still be causing issues for them. They might be absolutely scared that you're going to do it to them. They may feel like you could turn into an absolute nightmare and dictator, and try and control everything that they do. But it feels like there's a want to collaborate, a drive, a need to collaborate here between the two of you. But I feel like there's a lot of communication that needs to come first. And it does feel like that communication isn't necessarily happening. I do feel like there's actual, things being done. You are working together potentially to do things, but I don't feel it's verbal. I feel it's more physical. So maybe you are, the physical side of your relationship could be getting there. It just might not be that there's any mental kind of connection properly, because I just feel like your person is seriously lacking some self-confidence. Now, the challenge here, we've got a third party involved and a Six of Cups. So potentially two people here, maybe someone from the past, um, a friend, family member potentially. I mean, the family member could potentially be this, whoever this emperor is. Maybe it's a father figure, your father, their figure, somebody that not might necessarily be a little bit controlling. They could very well be a bit of an issue here. Like I say, it could just be third parties, past people here. Um, that Six of Cups is definitely suggesting there is something from the past, a potential person, past soulmate maybe, that could be a bit of an issue. Now, as daft as it sounds, it could also be, like I say, if this is somebody that you're looking to rekindle things with. Maybe there's some lack of trust here. Maybe you remember some happy times from the past, but there was third party interference back then. And part of this challenge is getting through that. But let's get some clarity on what the Six of Cups and this Three of Cups is, please, Spirit. What's this Six of Cups and this Three of Cups? Okay. So we've got somebody who's very independent. Possibly this could be a friend who is very independent, and maybe they like your company because they like being solo. Maybe they're not in relationships, and you might find that some people don't have your best interests at heart, and they could be very selfish. And if you get into a relationship, it means that they won't necessarily be able to spend as much time with you, and they could try and sabotage certain things. It could just also be that one of you is very independent, and maybe that independence could cause a bit of an issue. We do have a hangman here as well, so there is potential betrayals from the past that could be resurfacing and keeping somebody feeling very stuck here. It could just be that they've not been able to move forward from betrayals in the past. And I do have a Two of Swords as well, so there it feels like somebody is at a crossroads. It could very well be that they've got a past person that betrayed them. They may be thinking and reminiscing over the good times of the past. They could have a friend as well that is very independent. And it could very well be that they just don't know what direction to go in. Haven't necessarily made the decision yet, feeling very stuck, kind of closing their eyes and hoping that things will just go away. And now I don't know if that's you or whether that's them. I have a feeling this is your person. Now, if they get through this, I have a Two Swords as the outcome. So they're making a decision and they're not considering other people, or either you or they are. It's very much a card of, I want to say it could be a hasty rush decision, but I don't feel like it is. I feel like it's something where they're not considering other people's feelings, which is a good thing, because if they've got two other people, or even if it's just one person, if there are other people that are trying to influence their decision, they are very much going, no, I'm making this decision for me. This decision is to benefit me. It is my life. I'm going to do what I want, kind of thing, which is looking like it's a really good thing. It potentially is a step up on the confidence ladder for your person if it is them. Now, it could very well be you saying that you're no longer waiting. Okay, so we have a star card in the reverse. So there is potential giving up here, feeling like things are not necessarily materializing in the way that you want them to. It's a bit of a lack of hope. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's a lack of hope for you. It could be whoever they is being cut out potentially, or a decision's not being made in their favor. It could very well be that somebody is seeing that they don't have their best interest at heart, and that is why they're very much making that decision. Now, I do also have a Seven of Swords, so it does suggest that there is some quiet, sneaky planning going on here. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad thing. It could just mean that they're cutting people out and ghosting them. I do feel like there is a bit of ghosting going on. Now, it could very well be you ghosting this person. And then I have a Fool in the reverse. There's still not much movement. There's still a hesitation to move forward here with this. Now, it does feel like your person isn't particularly healed. And it could just be that they need to take some time to themselves, potentially. I do feel with that Seven of Swords there that there's a bit of deception, I feel, that's going on. Now, I don't think it's anything bad. I think there's a lot of things that are being hidden here. I think it's more that they're trying to, how do I put it? I feel like whoever is trying to influence somebody, feel like they're the ones that are having that deception towards them. Maybe you or your person, whoever it is that is dealing with this third party or person from the past. I feel like the deception here is that somebody is telling them one thing but doing something different. So maybe if these people are, trying to do the whole thing of, oh, I'll never see my friend again. You'll never be able to come out and party. It could very well be that they're going, yeah, 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 I will, but they're not planning on doing that. They're planning on cutting them out, kind of thing. Um, it could be that, somebody from the past. It could be that they're going, oh, let's try again, and they're going, yeah, yeah, we'll give it a go, and then they're not doing it. If it is you trying to rekindle things with someone from the past, I feel like someone feels like it's a little bit hopeless, and they could be saying, yeah, okay, let's give it a go, but they just don't see it going anywhere. Now, whether that's you doing that to them or them doing it to you, I don't know. What is this card? So I've got a Hermit in the reverse. It does suggest, so the Hermit in the reverse is telling me that somebody's not going to be on their own. I feel like somebody feels very lonely. Maybe they're trying to get into a relationship. Maybe it's you trying to get into a relationship because you're lonely, and that's about the only reason for them. I don't feel like there's not really any cups out here other than their Four of Cups in the reverse, knowing what's good for them and what they want. There's nothing else out here, I suppose, other than, I mean, yeah, you've got the Page of Cups here, but it's very immature energy. It feels very much like it's a non-committal kind of relationship. Someone maybe just wants some company, is the way that I'm feeling it. It's like they don't necessarily want it to move forward, maybe. It could very well be that they're giving you lip service. Because if you're waiting for something to move forward and they're still getting over the past, they could be very well giving you all the lip service, saying, yes, okay, we'll take it forward, but they're not. And it's purely because they just don't want to be on their own. They want to be in company. Um, yeah, I don't feel like it doesn't feel like there's good intentions at the end of this. Now, I'm not telling you what to do because it could play out very differently. Decisions that are made, you know, are all very different. Now, it could even be that this third party might get their way and your person might be going out sneaking around, not just sneaking around, but maybe partying behind your back, saying they're working late, but they're going down the pub with their mates because they want to socialise. That could be something as well. Um, so I'm not. It doesn't feel like horrible energy. I feel like it's more energy directed at a third party than it is at yourself. But I feel I do feel like things are not really moving. So even though there's decisions being made, and it's a very selfish decision that's being made too, it's either to cut someone out or to keep them in and keep you in the dark about it, or you're keeping them in the dark about it. I don't feel like this is a progressing as a relationship. I feel like it's still going to be in the same kind of non-committal energy here. So have in your romance angel oracles, then I've got flirt, extend your light-hearted energy to others. Getting to know each other as you reveal your innermost selves to each other, your bond deepens. And I feel like that's part of the issue because they don't have the confidence and it doesn't feel like people are communicating feelings. So communication could be a bit of an issue here. Maybe it's more of the physical and the material than anything. And then I've got worth waiting for. Divine timing is at work in your love life. Now, they have the divine timing card. They have that Wheel of Fortune. So it does suggest that there is a possibility that this could be a good relationship. I just feel like there needs to be a bit more communication going on. Right. I hope that's given you some insights, Gemini, into what is going on with a particular love situation you could be going through at the moment. Now, if you found that useful, please don't forget to hit that thumbs up button. It will help pass the message on to anyone else that needs to hear it. And if you want to hear more from me and you haven't subscribed already, if you press that subscription button and press the notification bell, it will let you know when I do post new content. For those of you that have subscribed already, thank you very much for your subscription. Your support helps the channel grow and it also helps pass those messages on. So thank you very much for that. Good luck and thank you for joining me.